In today's video, I'm going into how I actually stopped drinking and the few steps or some ideas to help you to make the shift as well, if that's what you're looking for. So continuing on the theme of addiction this week, I wanted to go into today of how I actually stopped drinking for myself. And so the story I had mentioned earlier in the week was that I was drinking to cope, I was getting by, I was working crazy, crazy hours with work, and it was just a way for me to go home, relax, and go to sleep. Of course, for me, my drink of choice was red wine, and I would go home, have a couple glasses, and I would wake up in the morning constantly dehydrated, and sometimes with, a little bit of a hangover, and it was difficult. But I kept doing it, because it was like, oh, it's a way to cope. It was a way to calm me in the evenings. So finally, I was like, I don't want this for myself anymore. I really don't. And someone had told me that they visualized battery acid. And it was really interesting because drinking red wine has a lot of the tannic acids, and it would give me, like a burn in my stomach if it was not a great red wine. And of course, there were times where I just picked whatever and it would make me feel that way. So I knew that feeling in my gut of like, this is not a great red wine and it gives me that kind of acid feeling. And so using this image of I'm drinking battery acid was actually like, wow, I am putting that into my body. And I could then feel that feeling in my body of that, reminding myself of that feeling. And I was like, oh, I don't want to put that into my body. And so I kept using that image of the idea of me drinking battery acid and the feeling of it in my body of like, this is so not good for me. Granted, I used that image, I still wanted to go by the store every night and buy another bottle of wine. And so I actually ended up driving different routes home so I wouldn't go by the grocery store. It was like, I can't just drive by the store, so let me go a different way so I'm not, and as well, we would have beer o'clock on Fridays, or people would go out for drinks at lunch or something. I just wouldn't join those things. It was like, nope, I'm not. I'm just not doing this. And again, thinking of the battery acid. So it was difficult for months. It was really difficult, but I was determined in myself to not have this anymore, to not be doing this coping in myself anymore. So I don't know if using this image would help for other people, if you're drinking or using other substances. It's like, well, what is it that could help? But I also had a motivation in there of really not wanting this anymore in my life. So I know that if you want to stop something, it's like, no, I needed that motivation. And I have, it's been 12 years, 10, 12 years since I actually stopped drinking. And I have on occasion had a glass of wine again. And I remember being like, wow, this is so good. But I had one glass and then was like, that is it. Like, I am not going to fall back into this pattern again of using it to cope. So if you are wanting to stop drinking or using substances, really is making that choice. Like, make that choice of this is what I do or don't want. Make that choice for you. And then as well, for me, it really helped to visualize what I was doing to my body. The idea of putting battery acid into my body, that's like, what? No, I don't want to do this to my body. I don't want to ruin my body in this way. So that too helped me. So making the choice, not wanting to hurt and harm my own body, and really giving myself care. It was like giving myself, like, I love me more now. Maybe I didn't love myself much then, and that's why I was using in coping as well, because I did not love me. And now I want to give myself love. And that might be part of it as well, of like starting to notice your worth, value, love in yourself, like giving that to you. You know, it's like we're coping and numbing because we don't want to face certain things in ourselves. And maybe it even is that you don't believe you're worthy, or you don't believe you're good enough, or, you know, lovable enough. And so you're just like, well, drink it away to not face it. So do take care of yourself. And I know it was incredibly difficult. Like, it was months of me like avoiding the grocery store when I would go on my way home, avoiding the beer clocks and the other things. It took a while for me to really, you know, be okay around those things again, and not just be like, I need this, I want this, I need to have it. So I'm sending you love and support, and hope that any of these words can help you to make the choice to be and love yourself and find the worth in yourself. So thank you for joining me today. I'm AmyC with You Finding You. And if you are getting value out of these videos, do hit that like, share, and subscribe button. Thank you again. I'll see you in the next video.